Hi there, welcome to 10 at 10. We're going to jump right back into the Word where we left off last time, which is John chapter 4, verse 23 and 24. It says, "But the time is coming, indeed it's here now, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth. The Father is looking for those who will worship Him in that way. For God is spirit, so those who worship Him must worship in spirit and in truth." I remember a time when Pastor Sam Benson, who is one of the elder pastors of our church, he came and he said something and it struck me. He said, "There is coming a time when people will not be able to live simply by being good people or good morals. They will have to live in spirit and have an active interaction with God, who is spirit, so that they can navigate through life spiritually." We know that this world is decaying. We know and we can see from society that it's just getting crazy. But it doesn't have to be that way for a believer. The Word of God came to me saying that in 2022, it's the year to rise above. To rise above what? To rise above the things that have held down. To rise above all the political nonsense, all the noise. It seems like there's so much noise from so many different places. Some are experts, some are not experts, but it's just a lot of noise. But God is saying that I can raise you up to another level. Or let me rephrase that. Because of what Jesus did on the cross, the death, the resurrection, we now have access to rise above the noise. We can choose to live in the noise and it stay noisy, stay chaotic, or we can choose to rise above that. I'm thinking right now about those that are living according to the noise of COVID. Now, I understand it's real. I understand that there are things that we need to do to be wise. I understand all those things. But I will not live in fear of exposure. I will not live in fear of any of those things. I am led by the Spirit of God who leads me and guides me. And if God tells me not to go to a certain place, and He's done that. We had plans for an anniversary, and God just kind of warned me. He just said, now is not the best time to go to that location. And so I called my wife and said, you know what? We were planning to go to somewhere on our anniversary, but we're not going to go now because the Lord has warned me. See, that's living by spirit. Living by natural things is going to the news and seeing what the news has to say and going solely on that, but not listening to the inward witness. You know, the Word of God says that He lives on the inside of us. If you've asked Jesus into your life, He's come into your life. The Spirit of God lives in your spirit. And He can lead you and He can guide you into paths of righteousness for His name's sake. So I want to encourage you, if you've been living a life where you've been in fear, where you're in constant depression, where you're in constant anxiety, where you're in constant lack, you're in constant health problems, I want to encourage you to rise above in 2022. You can come up out of some of those things in immediate measure, but you can come up in all of those things in incremental measure as you build your faith. And I want to encourage us this year, believer, those that have asked Jesus into their lives, you don't have to live the way that everyone else lives. It doesn't mean that we're not sympathetic or empathetic. But it does mean that we are of a peculiar people. We are of a different group. And that is Jesus lives on the inside. And we can help those people know about Jesus so they can live in truth. Jesus came to give life and life more abundantly. In 2022, I choose to live the abundant life, and I hope you do as well. God bless and see you next time.